Eden this afternoon. Eden from the fullback up, the Arcade Butchery Juniors. From the fullback, Tony Rogers. Two wingers, Michael Anderson and Stephen Boyd. The two centres, Andrew Blackster and Tony Shepherd. 5'8", Michael Cunningham. Halfback, Brett Little. Lock, Graham Cantrell. Two second rowers, Mark Love and Steve Mitchell. The front rowers, Wayne Sandling and Michael Sandling. And the hooker is Steve Warren. The reserves are Steve Atkins, Eric Nowes, Howard Christenthal and Russell Daly. For the home-style bakery under 18s from Pambula, Merimbula. From the fullback up, Chris McPaul. Two wingers, Ron King and David Winters. The two centres, Sam Radford and Tony Patton. 5'8" is Andrew Stone. Halfback, Michael Bell. Lock forward, Darren Love. Two second rows, Dick Boozerville and Mark Collins. The front row, Brett Shan and Darryl Tasker. The hooker is Wayne Collins. Should be a good game, this one, between the two young teams. Two solid sets of forwards. Two sets of slick backs. Eden to kick off, running from north to south with a stiff nor'wester blowing up their backs. Eden to kick off through Cunningham. Big day here today, local derby day. Three good games of football coming up this afternoon. Referee gets the word off the captains. Time on. Cunningham puts a long low kick in, down in, oops there, off the shins, picked up by the winger over there, King. King's plays it, fella goes from dummy half. The Eden boys pour in him. Going to play it back to Collins. Up the blind side goes Bewsville, but Eden all inside the 5, right on the 22. Picked them off easy. Bell with the line kick. Gain's only about 5 metres. Collins with the tap, a run around with Bell. Bit of a move coming on here. Bit of a crisscross. Give it to the second rower, Collins. They make about 5 metres. Going to play it back to his brother Wayne. Gives it on to Bell. Runs back towards the blind side. Gets under a couple of head eyes. Put on the ground by Boyd. Going to play it back to Collins. He gives it to McPaul up from fullback. Ducks the head down. Put on the ground just in their own territory. Played it back to Collins. Give it a Bell. Gives it on to Love. Eden boys swarm in him right on the halfway line. Played it back to Collins. On to Bell. Gives it on to the 5'8". Although the centres have run into him. Put on the ground by Cunningham, just in Eden territory. Played it back to Payton. Goes from dummy half, straight through. Got away from a tackle inside the 22. Put on the ground by Sandling. Played it back to the 5'8" Stone. Gives it out to Bell. Shoots it onto the hooker, Collins, and the wingers put in the clear. Stepped inside a poor tackle. Pushed off another one and scores an easy try. No try. Held him up. Looked an easy one. That young Boyd got underneath him, couldn't get the ball down. We're going to have a scrum, 10 metres out. Good sustained stuff from Merimbula. Eden boys have got to put them on the ground. Referee straight through the same tunnel. It's Rogers with the put in. Won by Eden, but a deliberate feed to the second row, says the referee. A penalty coming up from Merimbula. Love's going to take a quick tap, charges at the line. The Eden boys swarm in on him, hold him up. About a metre out. Going to play it to Collins. Collins goes from dummy half, looking for the try line. The Eden boys halt his progress. Played it back. Love, nowhere to go. No one coming onto the balls. The Eden boys drive him back in the tackle. 5 metres out. Going to play it to Collins. Gives it inside to the big brother Mark. only a couple of metres out. Played it to Collins, shoots from dummy half, an easy try. Picked her up and dived over to the in towards the right hand corner. A simple 4-pointer. Merimbula worked play off the kick-off out from their 22. Eden boys ineffective tackles, a couple of them, where Peyton ran from dummy half, got away from the hookers. Warren's attempted tackle, beat another couple. Boys shot her along the back line, and they penetrated from sustained play there for a couple of minutes right on the line. Northwest. It'll be a hard kick, this one, for young Bell. You get the one scrum. There she goes. Not even going to make the distance. Breeze held it up and not enough woof into that kick. One scrum to Merimbula, 2 penalties to Merimbula. Cunningham with the kick-off. 4-0 the score. And after about 5 minutes. Straight up the middle of the field. Oh, McFall had a bit of trouble with it, gets it up into the field of play. Runs hard, just about gets to the 22. A nice tackle there by young Little. Played it back there to the 5'8" Stone, but he's lost the ball. I think the Eden boys come up with it through Mitchell. He's going to play it back to the hook of Warren. Shoots it out to Little on the Cunningham. Defence swarms in on him right on the 22 in the middle of the field. Played it to Little. Runs to the short side and turns a nice pass inside that Sandling. But a nice tackle by Bell. Little runs from dummy half. A long pass for Cantrell. Comes straight back in. Going forward all the time. A nice little run by the lock forward. And play it back to the hook of Warren. Gives it on to Little. Little onto the centre. Shepherd. Put on the deck in the 5th tackle. Played it to Cunningham. Comes up the blind side. Puts up a high kick. Might have gone too far though. A mile too big. Wind carried it right out over the dead ball line. We're going to have a tap on the 22. Collins with the tap. Up the short side, he gives it to Love. Puts the hip into him, but a nice tackle there from the centre, Shepherd. Played it back up the short side, comes the big fellow here. Good, beautiful, don't think it is. They run away from dummy half there. Onto the dressing shed side, Bell picks it up, but Eden all inside the 5. Another penalty to Merimbula. Bell with the penalty. Oh, long kick. Oh, Rogers made a meal of it right on the line. It's been a nice kick by Bell. Gained about 30 metres. Collins with the tap. Now we can have a scrum. Yeah, big strong fella. Rogers with the put in. Little with the put in. Bell with the put in from Merimbula. One by Merimbula. Runs around the scrum, gives it to the 5'8". Got away from Cunningham. Got to go around those legs, Eden. Going to play it back to Bell. He shoots it on to McFall. There's a big winger warming up, but a nice tackle there, and he's lost the ball. Picked up by Little. Nice tackle by Cunningham on the big centre, Radford. Winger it was, Winters. There's a penalty coming up for Eden, inside the 5 from Merimbula. Too keen in defence. Sandling with the line kick. Bit of tight shoe up here on the top. Oh, long kick. Touched by the winger. We're going to have a scrum. Good bit of work there by that winger, King. We've got a change in there. Little with the put in for Eden. Puts it in straight out to Merimbula. Bell's upon it, but the referee wants it in again. Eden Hooker can't get that head in. Break up, boys. Fed and won by Eden. Oh, but a deliberate feed to the second row, said the referee. Another penalty coming up from Merimbula. Bell with the line kick. Gains about 10 metres. A couple of metres inside their own territory. Collins with the tap. They're going to use another move with Bell and Collins. A run around, slipped it out to 5'8" Stone, wrapped up by Cunningham along with Little. They play it back to Wayne Collins. Gives it to the second row, Mark Collins, with a nice tackle there by Cunningham along with Love. They shoot it out the blind side. The 5'8" duck the head down. Put on the ground by Shepherd and Mitchell. Played it back to Bell. Gives it on to Love. A bit dubious in this running, young Love. Ex-Eden player. Cantrell and Shepherd put him down. Collins gives it a Bell. Onto the... Oh, but a bad pass there. On the fifth tackle. Could have been a bit doubtful, that one. Payton gives it back to Bell. Going to use the kick. High one. Straight out over the line. Back to where he kicked it. We'll have a scrum. Right on halfway. Little with the feed. Not clean wind of Merimbula. Right back well. Bell made a meal of it on the ground. Cunningham and Sandling were upon him. 10 metres in Merimbula territory. Played at the Stone. Up the blind side he goes. Put on the ground by Michael Sandling. Played it back to Collins. Up the blind side again through McFall. Put on the ground by Love along with Cunningham. Up the blind side they go again. Bell gives it on to Mark Collins. Crashing run, but a crashing tackle. Puts him on the ground by Mitchell. Played it back to Wayne Collins. On to Bell. Gives it to McFall. Shoots short one to Stone. On to Payton. Running with a bit of purpose. Got away from the couple of tackles. He gives it on to the winger King. Put on the ground there by his opposite number Anderson. Slipper out along the back line through Stone. Out the Bell again. A short chip ahead. Not a bad one either. Picked up on the bounce by Rogers. Not a bad pick up at all. Play it back to Sandling. Tried to be raked through by Collins. 6 more to go as Sandling went away from dummy half and put on the ground in a nice tackle. Played it back and up the blind side go Eden. Little gives Mitchell a pass. And he's put on the ground by 3 of the Bulldogs. Played it back to Little. Up the blind side through young Lovey. The Bulldogs swarm in on him. 10 metres in their own territory. Played it back to Little. The hooker Warren runs from dummy half. Gets a nice pass back to Little. Shoots back to the blind side, but a nice tackle right around the bootlaces by the hooker Collins. And played it back to Warren. Young Love ducks head down, put on the ground by 2 of the Bulldog players. On the 5th tackle, Warren gives it out along the back line of Cunningham, and up she goes. Torpedo type. And it's a nice kick. Lands just inside the 22 and bounced into touch. Winger wasn't deep enough to take that ball. It was a nice kick. We're going to have a scrum just inside the 22. Bell with the feed. One by Merimbula. Picks it up and runs around the scrum. Gives it on to Stone. Gives a nice ball on to Payton. Spotted a bit of a gap, but a nice tackle around the legs by Blackster. Made it back to hooker, the 5'8" Stone. On to McFall. Wrapped up by 3 of the Eden players. Little, Shepherd along with Cunningham. Going to play it back to Radford. He gives it on the short side to the prop forward, but a nice tackle there, head on. Shaw it was. They play it back and Love gives a nice ball onto the big Collins fella. Gets into Eden territory. They play it back to Bell. Gives it on to Stone. Eden a bit thin out wide as Stone got away from Shepherd's tackle, but put on the ground by hooker Warren. Played it back to Peyton, going from dummy half again. Beat Cunningham's tackle. Can't get away from Love along with Sandley. We got it the first handover of the game. As Mitchell plays it back to Love. Runs away from dummy half. Only gains a metre. So play it back to Mitchell. Gives it on to the halfback Little. And a nice ball, but Cantrell made a meal of it. Merimbula through. Beautiful, I think it is. Comes up with it. Plays it back to Collins. Collins gives it to Darren Love. Wrapped up by Cantrell. He'll play it back to Collins again. 15 metres in Eden territory. Gives it to McPaul. Used a bit of a sidestep but can't get away from Cantrell and Mitchell. Played it back to Collins. Collins give it a bell. Onto Stone. Used a sidestep. Got away from Cunningham but crashed to the ground by young Sandlings. Going to play it back to Bell. Runs from dummy half. Trips over him. On the 5th tackle, they're on the 22. Going to play it back to Collins. Gives it out to Mark Collins. Going to put up a high kick. Nice and high. Big winger comes up with it from Merimbula, but we're going to have a scrum. 10 metres out from the Eden line. Scrums and penalties. Scrums. David Merimbula 3-0. The penalties Merimbula 2-1. Here's a scrum win to Merimbula, picked up by the lock. Gives it to Bell. Can't get away from Eden winger Boyd. Only a couple of metres out. Play it on to Love. He gives it onto the hook of Collins. Put it on the ground though, about 8 or 10 metres out. Played it back to second row and the big Mark Collins crashes over the line for a nice try. Merimbula 8, Eden 0. Eden must move up in this straight line of defence to contain these big forwards of Merimbula's. They must all come up together.
We on? We're on now. 10-0 to score at the moment, Merimbula's way. Kick off by Cunningham.
Breeze blown into that line.
Yeah. Oh, there's a hard body contact there with two players, young Sandlings and the new boy on. Dapto, I think they call him. Plays it back to Collins. Out it goes, out wide onto Love and on to Collins again there a bit wider.
Mark, that is.
Mark.
Stone.
Stone, out to Peyton. These Wilt, isn't it? No, it's not. Tasker, there it is, front row. Merimbula throw it the other way again. Dummy did side, Bell. Sends it out to the centre. Beats one player. But he's tackled there by the Eden winger and he's lost the ball. It's gone into touch. So we'll get back in the hang of it.
Breeze blown into that line. Hide it in the jump.
Scrum the pack down, 10 metres inside Merimbula territory, fed by the Eden halfback Little. The referee says put it in again. Little to feed. There it is. Oh, back out the same way, he says. He's not satisfied with the way this scrum's packing down. Eden, I don't think have won it. Eden haven't won a scrum yet.
Not set 2 second rows.
There it is, it's in the scrum. It's out one way, picked up by Eden. But he's well tackled there by two of them. No, he lost the ball, we missed that bit. Merimbula, lock forward, comes up with it in Love. Sends it wide onto Bell. Bell's dummy, gone through the gap, beat one player. But he's caught from behind there by the Eden centre in Shepherd. Plays it back to Radford. Radford throws it wide onto McPaul. He's gone up the blind. Out of one tackle, but he's well held there by two more of the Eden players. Plays it back to Peyton. He goes himself from dummy half, beats one, beats two players. Finish up tackle there by the Eden centre Blackster. Here's Merimbula lined out, throwing it wide onto the lock forward Love, but he's well taken there by Love, and a solid tackle by Sandling it was. There's the 5th tackle. Turn it back inside to Collins.
Get up to me!
Collins gets it onto the other Collins. He beats one player. Goes through the gap, but he's well tackled there by Blackster. No, it's not Blackster, it's Shepherd. Here's the handover. Mitchell for Eden to play the ball. Plays it to Warren. He's got no one to give it to. Steps, comes back the other way. Beats one player, comes up the blind and makes 10 metres for Eden. He'll play it back to Little. Little onto Love, who's calling for it. Nice and hard, but
come on, Mitch!
The big Merimbula boys are there to push him backwards a metre.
Hard!
Here they go, throwing it out to Little. Little goes, looks for a gap. Closed up pretty quick there. It was a nice tackle by Love, it was, the lock forward. Cunningham at dummy half. On to Sandling's running a bit wide. Beats one player. Stands up, takes another 3 to pull him down. Eden right on the halfway line. On to Cunningham. There's Merimbula all offside. Well inside the 5 metre mark. Here's a free to Eden. 10 metres inside Merimbula territory. And Cunningham, no, Sandling it is that'll take this kick. Kicking for the line. Eden don't seem to have the size to match this big Merimbula pack. There's a nice kick by Sandling. Gains about 40-45 metres. Oh yes, it is too. Say 40 metres there. Here it is, Little, the halfback to take the tap. On to Cunningham, stand a bit wide. Oh, he's lost the ball. They moved up and hit him. The runners never got to him quick enough. Here's Merimbula played the ball.
Get up there, Eden!
Merimbula throw it wide on the lock forward Love. He dummies the Stone. But he's well held there by 3 of the Eden players. Plays it back to Collins. Collins goes himself from dummy half, makes 10 metres, but well tackled there by Cunningham. Bit of an ankle tap from Love. Back to Love again. There's Eden offside again. I don't think that's a very good decision by the referee. The play wasn't even going that way. He should have let the game flow on, I think. Here's a kick for the line from Bell. This Eden junior side could be a good side if they had half this Merimbula side in them, which have come from Eden. Here it is, tapped by Radford. That's Winters. Yeah, 5. He's playing it back to Love. He goes himself from dummy half, makes a couple of metres. He's lost the ball, it's picked up there by Sandling.
Oh, come on!
There's another bad decision by the referee. I feel it should have played the advantage there. The Eden boys didn't come in contact with it. Drop ball, should play the advantage. It's a scrum to pack down. 15 metres inside Eden territory. Having a bit of trouble with the scrums, this referee. Fed by Bell, the scrum sideways across the field. Won by Eden. Good win. He's offside a mile, that 5'8" from Merimbula. Stone it was. Standing right up.
Is that null and void then, that scrum, or that scrum in a penalty out?
Yeah. Yeah, scrum and penalty. They'd won the scrum.
Scrums at the moment, Merimbula 4, Eden 2, the penalties 3 apiece.
There's another good kick by Big Sandlings. Makes 25-30 metres. I'll get my distances right with this one. The boys having a bit of go at me here. Here's Eden the tap.
They're standing too deep in their move.
Little to take the tap, 10 metres inside Eden territory. Here he goes, on to Cunningham. Out it goes wide. Oh, there's a bit of bad handling by Eden. Cunningham picked up the dregs pretty well. Young Blackster's got it. Steps around one player and makes 10 metres, but he's well tackled there by 2 Merimbula players. Here it goes to Blind, on the Love. Steps and slips over and makes a couple of metres on his hands and knees. Love to play it back to Little. Warren's calling for it. Out it goes to Cunningham. Cunningham goes himself and he makes a metre or so. Plays it back there to Shepherd. Shepherd on to Sandling. He's running hard. He'd do a lot better if he went straight up the middle instead of a little bit sideways. There's young Sandling's hurt there. Hit the ground pretty hard. Strappers on to check him out. Kid, he had to run around in first. Here it goes, Eden sends it wide onto the other Sandling.
Go!
Makes half a break, but he's well tackled there by Love, the lock forward. Plays it back to Cunningham. Cunningham the little go on the open side here. He cuts one player and gives it to Mitchell, run a bit wide. Pushes off one player, gets it out. Nice run there by Mitchell, nice bit of work by Eden. He got a pass away, bumped off one player, still got his pass away. Good football by young Mitchell, but he's hurt here at the moment. Nice bit of play there by Eden. They throw the ball around, they can certainly make the gaps.
No problem there, Chris.
Yeah, look her off there. We're back into the action here. Scrum the pack down, fed by Bell. Back out the same tunnel. He wants it put in again, the referee. Put in by Bell, one by Merimbula. He goes around the scrum, steps, comes back around. He's well tackled there by two Eden players in Sandling and Love. Plays it back to the centre, to the winger it is, King. He doesn't go anywhere. They drive him back in. Nice bit of work there by Boons and Love and Mitchell. On to Collins. Collins out to Love. He's well tackled there by the other Love. Cousins, these two blokes, I think. Collins out wide. Who's that? Irvin. Tasker it is. Yeah, Tasker. Plays it back to Collins. He goes himself. Makes half a break, but he's well tackled there by Warren. Playing it back to Tasker. Tasker out to Payton. Payton gets a kick in on the fifth tackle. There's Boyd's call for it. He's taken it. And he's tackled there right on the halfway line. Here he is, plays it. Boyd back to Shepherd. Shepherd goes the blind side. Makes a couple of metres.
Look at him here. All offside.
Warren takes it on to Cunningham. Nowhere to go. Gets it to Cantrell. Cantrell knows which way to go. This little fella. He goes straight up the middle. Makes a couple of metres. Cunningham a dummy half. On to Little. Little to Shepherd running close to him. He plays it back to Little. Little on to Cunningham. Cunningham out to Cantrell running a bit wide. He pushes off one player and hits another one hard. Nice bit of work there by young Cantrell. Drove it into one bloke and down he went. On to Little, running wide. Ooh. This big bloke, young Cantrell, hit here. He's having a bit of trouble negotiating the direction.
Got the wobbly boot on.
Tough little kid, this young Cantrell. There's Love from Merimbula playing it. Sends it wide. Out to Dapto, I think they call this big bloke. I don't know where he comes from. Well tackled there by the two Sandling brothers. On to Collins, Merimbula. Out it goes to Bell. Bell onto... Oh, I just missed that bloke there. Sheehan. Is it? There it is, big Collins running wide. Pops it up for the centre. In Radford it is. He's well tackled there by Cunningham and Warren into assist. Out it goes, on to McPaul. McPaul to Stone. Stone out to Bell, but he's a bit worried about picking it up, I think. Eventually turns around, picks it up and runs wide. Beats one player. Beats two players. But he's well tackled over there by Big Sandling. Nice tackle. Plays it back to Collins. Collins puts a little kick in, but it's out on the full. It'll be back for a scrum. 10 metres inside the Merimbula territory.
We've got a scrum, 10 metres in Merimbula territory. We've got Mitchell off the field for Eden at the moment. I don't think they've got many reserves. Put in by Little and one by Merimbula. Bell shoots it out to Stone. He gives a nice ball onto the centre. Payton draws him in and give it to Radford with a bit of room to move, but tries to push him off, but put on the ground by Anderson. Going to play it back to King. Runs from dummy half. Pushes off one player. Got away from a couple more, but put on the ground by Cantrell. Play it back to Collins. Shoots it onto Stone. Nice one on to Big Payton again. Sights the gap and goes straight ahead. Turns and gives a nice ball to Wayne Collins, heading for the line, but he's dropped the ball. He was looking at the line, might have got a bit anxious, trying to get her down and spilt it in the process. We've got another Eden player down. I think it's the halfback Little. We're going to have a dropout. We've got a tap on the 22. Sandlin picks it up and goes straight ahead. A nice gain of 10 metres. He's going to play it back to Warren. No one with him. Merimbula all inside the 5. Nearly the whole team. On, penalised an extra 10 for back chatting. Brings the play up to halfway. Sandling with a line kick. He's put a couple of beauties in so far. Bit of breeze behind him. He might make a bird of this one. Put the boys on the attack. Not a bad kick again. Gains 25 metres. Eden are going to put another move on. They're standing a bit deep in their moves. They're leaving the man with the ball on his own. Here it comes, a run around with Cunningham and Little. Gives a pass back to the second row of Love. Tackled right on the 22. Played it back to Warren. Runs from dummy half. Give it a Little. Bit of a side step and gains about 5 metres. Plays it back to Warren again. Here's young Sandlings on the burst. Running across in front of the post. Only about 10 metres out. Going to play it back to Cunningham. Up the blind side to Little. Blackster runs back towards the post. Put on the ground. Still about 8 metres out. Played it to Cunningham. On to Warren. Warren gives it on to Shepherd. Put in a bit of a gap. Put on the ground there by Shan. Going to play it back to Little. Wrapped up though from dummy half. Would have been nearly offside, that player. We've got a linesman in. We've got a replacement on for Eden. Played it back. Merimbula. It was a handover to Collins. They shoot it out along the back line. Plenty of room to move. Eden are thin out here as Peyton goes flying up the touch line. Rogers moves across and pulls him down, but he got a pass away to Radford and the referees ruled a deliberate forward pass. Big boy, isn't he? Eden boys look a little bit out of condition at the moment.
Nice kick that.
Who's that kid, 14? Who's that there?
That's that new kid.
Aikens. Who's he on for? Eden are going to put a move on. Mitchell off the field. We've got Aikens on, the replacement. Here he comes, looking for his first touch of the ball. Goes straight ahead. The defence rips it into him, pushes him back into the ground. Two Collins brothers. Cunningham plays it, gives it on to Little, shoots it out to Shepherd. Beans, Cantrell spied the gap but pulled down by Bell along with Stone. Played it back to Blackster, runs from dummy half, gains about another 10 metres. Aikens into dummy half, he gives it on to Little. Cut out pass and give it to Cunningham. Sights a bit of a gap, uses a side step, gets inside the 22. Eden a bit bunched at the moment as Warren shoots it out to Shepherd. He gives it on to Aikens. Easy meat for the defence. Put on the ground in the 5th tackle. Played it back to Shepherd. He gives it on to Little. Running towards the corner. Gives a nice ball to Blackster. Heading for the line. He's close. He's bounced it over the line. Bad luck. A nice pass from the half-back. Little put Blackster into a nice gap. In his exasperation to reach the line, he's bounced it. We've got a scrum. About 10 metres out and 10 metres in. Bell to feed. Referee wants it in again. In it goes and won by Eden. Oh, Bell, Little made a meal of it. He give it out to Cunningham, but a rush past to Shepherd. Got to slow the pace up, Eden. Settle it down a bit as Rogers comes in from fullback and Merimbula all offside. 10 metres out, Eden have got a penalty right in front of the post. What are they going to do?
Take the tap, Tricky. No?
No, he's going to have a goal kick. Score. Only 8 points away from it if he puts this one over. falls off the mound. They're banking on you playing, Riley.
Yeah, she knows.
Cunningham moves in. Oh, waved away, a simple one.
Stabbed her.
Stab kick. Must follow through with these goal kicks.
They've got someone on there with a bit of authority on that.
Merimbula with the dropout through Bell. No, not a bad one either. Taken on the full by Rogers. Gets going into Merimbula territory. Runs with a bit of purpose. Put on the ground by Wayne Collins. Played it back to Boyd. Goes from dummy half. Merimbula looked like they were in the side the 5 again as Boyd slammed into the ground by Dapto. Played it back to Warren. Little runs back to the blind side. Sided a bit of a gap and made about 10 metres. Plays it back to Warren. Here's Sandlin warming up again, running at the blind side, but he's done the ball in and through Collins. Merimbula come up with it.
Knocked on both ways, that one.
Plays it back to on Dapto's come up with it, but the Eden boys swarm in on him. Through Shepherd and Warren. Played it back, and I think Sandlings has come up with it for Eden. Played it back to Warren. He shoots it out to Little. On to Love. Goes back inside. Beat one and put on the ground right on the 22. Going to play it back to Akins. Gives it on to Little. Out to Cunningham. Oops there. Pops it up in the air. Bit of a dangerous one, that one. Going to play it back to Rogers. Into the blind side comes Little, but he's driven back by Radford along with Payton. Play it back to Shepherd. Eden to do well to get it wide here. Cunningham throws along past the Cantrell. Goes straight ahead. Put on the ground just outside the 22 on the 5th tackle. Played it to Cunningham. Back to Sandling. Up she goes. Oh, it's a high one. It's not a bad one either. Oh, it bounces. Anyone's knocked out over the line by Bell. We're going to have a dropout under the post. Beautiful bomb that. Plenty of height. Plenty of time for the players to get underneath it. Don't get back too deep, Eden. You only got to be back 10 metres. Bell puts in a high one out towards the sideline. Taken by Blackster. Puts the head down and goes straight ahead. Gets inside the 22. Going to play it back to Anderson. Runs from dummy half. Puts the head down. Ball pulled away and pulled out. I think we're going to have a penalty coming up for Eden here. This Little's going to take a tap and goes himself. Defence never moved up. He makes an easy 10 metres. Only about 4 or 5 metres out as Warren runs from dummy half. Half slipped over. Pushed back by Collins along with Bell. Going to play it back to Love. He gives it on to Big Sandlin. He's just about there. He's pulled down about half a metre short. Going to play it back to Warren. Warren, bit of a hurried one and been intercepted by Wayne Collins from Merimbula. Midway, kicked back by Eden. 6 more to go. Going to play it back to, oh, and kicked back again. And over the dead ball line. Another drop out under the post. Good bit of work there by young Mike Sandlin. Keen to get on with the game. Yeah, they've had the pressure on them. Here comes Bell with the dropout. Out the opposite way this time. A high one outside the 22. Taken on the chest by Cantrell. Can't get away from the Bulldogs' defence. And play it back to Blackster. Give it on to Shepherd. But a nice tackle there by Collins, and he's lost the ball. We're going to have a scrum. Eden. Fundamental errors are letting them down at the moment. Keep control of that ball. We've got a scrum right on the 22 on the dressing shed sideline to be fed by Bell. Picked up by Bell, through a dummy but wrapped up by Little. Got an Eden player down at the moment. Bell played it back to Love, runs to the blind side, wrapped up by Akins and Sandley, and Sandling's has rate the ball back for his side, Eden. Going to play it back to Warren. Gives it on to Little. Give it to Cunningham. Saw the gap. Give it on to Shepherd. Oh, but he's lost the ball. Hang on to this ball, Eden. making the game twice as tough for themselves by losing the ball. As big bloke runs away from dummy half. Collins played it back to Stone, steps around the referee, tried to duck under a tackle as the half-time hooter goes. The score at half-time is 10 points to 0 in favour of the Bulldogs. The scrums and penalties in the first half went 7 scrums to Merimbula to 5 to Eden, to 2 to Eden. The penalties went 3 to 2. 3 to 5.
Top stuff. What time?
Players are back on the field for the start of the second half. Merimbula went in at half-time with 10 points to 0 lead. Eden, Merimbula running north to south. Bell puts in a long kick. Down over the dead ball line. Referee in a bit of indecision here. Don't think an Eden player touched that then. Come out to the 22 for that one. Oh yes. Drop down under the post. From the new rule, from the kick-off, get it over that dead ball line, you restart under the post. Sandling with a long drop out, up to halfway, taken on the full by Love. Aikens went low, missed him, came again. The Eden boys swarm in. Still going forward. The Merimbula players. He played it back to Collins. Gives it on to Bell. Here's the brother Mark running hard. It slips over just outside the 22. Played it to brother Wayne. Gives it on to Bell. Here's young Peyton warming up and going nice and strong. But a nice tackle round the legs by Shepherd. Puts him down along with Love. Played it back to Collins. On the short side, Bell puts in a little kick, went straight into the arms of Cunningham. 15 metres out from their own line. Played it back to Warren, no one there to take the pass, running across the field. Run 20 yards and never gained a metre forward. Going to play it back to Valley, I think it is. On the blind side, he'd give it a little short pass to Sandling, who left it behind and threw King Merimbula come up with it. Just inside the 22, played it to Peyton, runs from dummy half towards the goal post. Nice strong run from the centre, pulls down a couple of metres out. Played it back to Collins. Runs wide and gives it to Bell. There's a nice pass to Love, but an equally good tackle by Blackster. Puts him down, still a couple of metres out. He played it to Bell, shoots from the blind side to Collins and a long one to the winger who's driven into touch. Pulled down right in the corner. I thought he was out. He played it back to Radford and kicked through by an Eden player, and we've got a scrum. 10 metres out, 10 metres in from the sideline. Crowd's starting to move into the game here today. Local derby as Bell puts it in and won by Merimbula. Picks it up, got away from half-back Little, pulled down about a metre short. Going to play it back to Love. Has a go from dummy half, ducks the head down, half a metre out Merimbula. Going to play it back to Wayne Collins. Got a hurried pass into his brother Mark, put off balance by young Cantrell and finished off by Cunningham. Played it back to Darren Love, again from dummy half. The Eden boys swarm in on him. Going nowhere Merimbula at the moment, even though they're right on the line. Played it back to Collins again, and a long pass to God. They've left it behind and through young Rogers. Eden come up with it 10 metres out from their own line. Good stuff from Eden. Daly picks it up and goes from dummy half. Push one off. Wrapped up by a couple of more of the Merimbula players. They play it back to Little. Up. Oh, Love's made a meal of it. We're going to have a scrum midway between the 22 and the try line. Fed by Bell. Scrum collapse. Fed by Bell and won by Merimbula. Referee wants it in again. Turned out a beautiful afternoon here. The breezes dropped right away. Perfect day for a game of rugby league on a Sunday afternoon. as Schultze calls it, the greatest game of all. Bell picks up the ball from the scrum base and give it on to Stone in a nice pass, but they're pulled down a couple of metres out. And play it back to Bell. Gives the winger to run to the corner, but he comes back inside. Had plenty of room to move right in the corner. Wrapped up by the cover defence of Eden. Played it back to Radford. He gives it on to Datto. Pushes one Eden player out of the road, but the boys on the fifth tackle. Eden are pretty thin outside the goalpost on the left side. The Shepherd comes hard in on Bell, but he gets a quick pass into Stone. Eden are gone out wide. They've only got to run to the corner and they'll score. Oh, the wingers made a meal of it though. King and lost the ball in the process. Had Eden shot the bits on that occasion as Sandling picks it up from dummy half. Defence swarms in on him. Three of the bull pups put him on the ground. McPaul using the strength there. Eden, Love's had a look at the ball, made a meal of it. We're going to have another scrum. Might have a penalty here for a player. Penalty to Eden. Law linesman in. We're going to have a Merimbula player called out for a swinging arm. Big bloke it is too. Big Collins using the swinging arm in the tackles. And a well-deserved penalty, I'd say, at that rate. Cunningham with the kick. Not a bad one either. A good gain of about 30 metres. Come on, Eden, put your game together, boys. We've got a replacement out here on the wing from Merimbula. Young Sandling, Michael, takes the tap, tries to push him off, gains about 8 metres, just about up to halfway. Oh, striking the play the balls. Little turned it back inside to Sandling, but he's barreled into the ground right on halfway. Long pass out here to Aikens. Going straight ahead, gets into Merimbula territory by 5 metres. Going to play it to Cunningham. On to Little. Gives a short pass to Shepherd, who took his eye off the ball, and Merimbula through Darren Love come up with it. Must keep that eye on the ball, Eden. Love played it back to Stone, went straight ahead. Gets to halfway. He'll play it back to Darren Love. No one with him from dummy half. Wrapped up easy by Warren. He'll play it back to Wayne Collins. Gives it out to Bell. Uses a kick. Eden fullback Rogers goes back and gets it. Can't get away from young Payton's tackle along with Bell. Play it back to Daly. Keep the eye on the ball, son. Went straight between his legs. And play it back to Rogers. Eden pinned down on their own line as Aikens driven back by the defence of the Bulldogs. And play it back to Cunningham. Up the short side goes young Love, but he's wrapped up by Tasker and driven back by Collins and lost the ball in the process. And another penalty coming up for Eden. Referee must have called him to play the ball, but the boys went on with the tackle. Scrums and penalties 5 minutes into the second half. Scrums Merimbula 9, Eden 2. Penalties Eden 7, Merimbula 3. And the score is 10 points to 0.
Move up a couple of inches. I'm sitting right on this joint.
Eden inside the 22. Oh. Bards boy, alright. Oh, a bit of knee trouble over here with the Eden players. Johnny Charlton, I think it is, on the field, giving him a bit of a hand. Writing in pain.
Love.
Darren Love, is it? Mark. No, he's up on the feet again, plays it back. Gonna play it back to Warren. Time on. Gives it to Little, running across the field. Give it to Cunningham. Outside the 22, a long pass to Shepherd, who took the eye off the ball. Sweeps it back with his hand to young Blackster. They're 10 metres outside the 22s. He plays it back to Rogers, up the short side, but Love's left it behind. It's towed through by Stone from Merimbula. It's over the line. He's only got a dive. Scored a simple try. Eden took that. Too much pace for five. Was in the corner.
5'8" Andrew Stone. Merimbula now lead Eden 14 points to 0.
Merimbula 12, Eden 0. Simple try that one, through a fundamental error by the Eden boys. $14-0. Young Bell shaping up for the kick here. Not a drop of breeze at the moment. Moves in. Not going to make the distance though. Not enough power in that right leg. There's Coach Cunningham.
That conversion attempt was unsuccessful and the score remains 14 points to 0 for the Pambula favour.
Give Eden boys Coach Cunningham a bit of advice behind the line while young Bell was shaping up for that kick. Cunningham with the kick off. Pushes it out towards the sideline. Merimbula boys a bit slow getting to the ball. The Eden boys swarm in on that player. Plays it back and the boys made a bit of a meal of it over there on the sideline. Here's a bit of a punch thrown here. Oh, the boys are keen to go on with it. Oh, a couple more punches going in there. They're off the field of play. Let them get into it. Referee will sort this out. We might be going to have a scrum, I think. I haven't. When? They've got about 9. We've got a penalty here coming up for Eden and 10 minutes in the sin bin for the prop forward, Shan. 10 minutes in the bin. Sandling's going to take the line kick just outside the 22. Not a bad one either, no. Touched in goal, drop out under the post. Come on Eden, you only got to be 10 yards. There goes the drop out towards the sideline here. Taken on the full by young Boyd. Picking up a bit of speed, runs sideways, wrapped up easy by the defence. Going to play it back to Little. Up the blind side comes young Love. Defence swarms up to him and he beat a couple of them and lost the ball. Merimbula through the replacement. Number 14 come up there. Up the blind side comes young Bell, wrapped up by Blackster along with Love. Played it back to Collins. He gives it to Stone. Gives a nice pass on to Tasker, I think it is. Going to play it back to Stone. Onto the big fella Mark Collins. Shows the defence the ball, but wrapped up by Blackster along with Shepherd. Going to play it back to Wayne Collins. Runs from dummy half. Pulled down by the defence, 10 metres in their own territory. Going to play it to McPaul, up the short side from dummy half he goes. Using his weight he gets to halfway. And we got a handover right on halfway as Sandling played it back to his brother Wayne. Makes a good gain of 10 metres. Going to play it back to Little, pushing it up the blind sides Mark Love, but wrapped up by Collins along with... I can't pick that player up as Daly runs from dummy half and gains about 10 metres. Going to play it back to Cantrell. Cantrell gives it on to Little, dummy pass and give it out to Cunningham, move through a shocking pass to Shepherd, but knocked back Blackster, but young Rogers makes a meal of it. 10 metres in Merimbula territory. We're going to have a scrum.
Scrum packed down, 10 metres inside Merimbula territory. To be fed by Bell, the halfback. Ball's in. Scrum screws. Be a penalty here to someone. Hands in the scrum, the referee says.
Penalty to Eden. No, it's Merimbula.
Who's got the penalty? Merimbula.
You can't use any signal.
No. Bell to take this free kick, kick for line. 10 metres inside their own territory. There's the kick. Makes about 20 metres. 22 metres. Merimbula to take the tap. 10 metres outside the Eden 22 metre mark. Taken by Collins. On to Bell. Run around with Collins. Goes on his own up the middle. Makes the break. Nice little break. Turns it back inside to Bell. Nice pass. There's an easy try to Merimbula. Midway between the sideline and the goal post. Nice bit of football.
Scored from Merimbula Pambula by Michael Bell. Takes Merimbula Pambula score to 20 points to 0.
Nice bit of football there by them two Merimbula players, young Collins and Bell. Collins took the tap, give it to Bell, run around, went up the middle and found the gap, and Bell backed him up on the inside. Score a good try. Here's the kick now to be taken by these young Eden blokes have stuck to their guns pretty well this afternoon. They've tried hard all the afternoon. They couldn't come up and match the. A lot of under 16 players on this side that are still playing juniors. They should come up with a good side next year. Here's a kick by Peyton, right over the dot. Nice kick. Plenty of power behind it.
That conversion by Tony Peyton.
Score at the moment 20. Deep. It's run up there by Love, the lock forward. One of Eden's juniors playing Merimbula. Well tackled there by Daly, the replacement, and young Warren, the hooker. Plays it back to the centre.